I thought of many, many different intros involving the words "to be frank" and then a sentence, and now I hate myself. Frank was directed by Lenny Abrahamson, stars Domhnall, Gleeson, Michael Fassbender, and Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it tells the story of John, who is a keyboard player who's just not really doing very well. He tries to write his own music, but it's just not working out very well. And then he suddenly gets inducted into this very, very weird indie band after their keyboardist pretty much goes insane and tries to kill himself. And he fills in for him in a show. They like him, so they keep him on. I've been really, really excited to see this movie ever since I heard about it in Sundance. It sounded really, really cool. Michael Fassbender is easily in like the top 5 actors that are currently working. He's amazing. And this is a really, really interesting movie, I thought. Just the idea and the fact that, if you don't know, the entire movie revolves around the leader of the band. I guess the leader, Frank, has this giant head on him at all times. Like, you don't actually see his face. And it's just a really interesting idea, especially considering, like I said, Michael Fassbender is one of the best actors working, and you put his face under a mask this whole time. It's a really, really interesting idea, and I was not disappointed. This is a very, very interesting movie. What really makes this movie is the fantastic performances. Domhnall Gleeson as the main character, John, is very, very good. You might recognize him, if you're not British, you might recognize him from something like About Time, which came out recently, I think, like last year. I'm not even sure, but he was very good. And just like all the characters, all of the actors had to kind of play with not very likable characters. Like, none of these characters are like, oh, he's awesome, except like maybe Frank, but they're like not very likable. They're kind of all out for themselves, or they're just really, really weird, but he pulls it off very well. Maggie Gyllenhaal, similarly, is really, really despisable. Like, she is terrible, she's despicable, and it's just like, She's terrible, but she's fun. She's really having fun with the role, you can tell, even though she's very depressed the whole time. She's having a lot of fun. But by far the best performance is Michael Fassbender. Oh my god, he's so good. like I said, they're taking this great actor and putting him under the hood, and he's still amazing. This is maybe one of his best performances, because just all this physical stuff that he's doing, and just the tone of his voice, you can tell so much about what he's doing, and he's really funny. And Frank's most likable song is really, really funny. If you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a funny movie, and that's a thing you might not be expecting, because I don't even remember what the trailer was, but it sounds kind of like a drama, but it's a very, very, very black comedy. It's very dark and weird, and a lot of the laughs, you might not be sure whether you're supposed to be laughing or not. You definitely are. It's funny. It's very, very well written. And there's a lot of interesting things just between the interactions between the characters. The way that they're fleshed out is kind of weird. Like I said, they're really not that likable, but the kind of questions that the script raises is really cool. Kind of like, is this band even good? And just stuff like that. I had a really good time watching Frank. I definitely recommend it to you. It has just great acting, great soundtrack, great script. It does get a little laggy at points. There are certain points where there's either no jokes or not a lot of plot development. There is one major plot point that I thought kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it's foreshadowed a little bit, but it was ultimately unnecessary. I'm not going to spoil it, but all in all, I give Frank an A-. Definitely worth a watch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.